All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are breaking down a massive, massive announcement from Google. And trust me, this just changed the game for personal AI.
Okay, let's just start with a thought experiment. Think about your entire digital life. You know, all your emails, your docs, your chats. It's all scattered everywhere, right? Now, what if one single, totally secure AI could understand all of it? The whole picture? Well, it turns out that's not a what if anymore. On November 6th, Google announced they've built one. Yep, they've basically created a personal AI chief of staff for all your data.
So, the big question is, how does this thing actually work? It sounds pretty wild. Let's pop the hood and take a look at the resume of this new super assistant. It's really built on 3 core pillars. So you've got a powerful brain for reasoning, you've got autonomous legs for going out and exploring the web, and then you've got this perfect, eidetic memory of all your personal stuff. These 3 parts, they work together to create something we've just never seen before. So let's break down exactly what each one does.
First up, the brain. This is a brand new engine called Gemini 2.5 DeepThink, and the name says it all, right? This thing is designed for depth over speed. So instead of just spitting out the fastest possible answer, it actually explores a bunch of different solutions in parallel. This is how it tackles those really complex, multi-step problems that other models just can't.
And this is where it gets kind of mind-blowing, this scale. We're talking about a 1 million token context window. I mean, that is just massive. To put that in perspective, that's what lets this AI analyze an entire software codebase or, get this, a whole lifetime of your documents, all in one go.
Okay, so what about the legs? Well, that comes from a really cool tech they've codenamed Project Mariner. The best way to think about this is like your own personal web detective. It's an autonomous agent that can just go out and browse the web for you, navigating websites and digging up whatever information you need.
And this might be the most important piece of the puzzle, the memory. Its memory is your entire Google Workspace. I mean, think about that. For the first time ever, a single AI has direct, on-demand access to everything in your Gmail, your Google Drive, your chats. It effectively turns all of your personal data into one giant, connected, searchable brain. Okay, so you put the brain, the legs, and the memory together. What do you get? Well, you get a completely new kind of AI. Seriously, this isn't just another update. We're talking about a whole new paradigm here. A huge shift from just summarizing stuff to actually synthesizing and creating things. Here's the best way to look at it. The old way versus the new way. Before, AI was pretty good at, say, summarizing one email thread, or maybe a single document you had open. It was reactive. But now, it can look across all of your emails, all of your documents, and pull ideas from everywhere to create something brand new. It's gone from being a speed reader to being a true research assistant.
And Google gave this perfect example in their announcement. You can just ask it to build a competitor report, and it won't just search the web. It'll cross-reference that public data with your own internal strategy docs, your spreadsheets, and even what your team's been saying in chat. That is a total game changer.
All right, so from a tech standpoint, this is cool. But from a business strategy standpoint, this is checkmate. This move gives Google an absolutely unbeatable strategic advantage. We're talking about a classic data moat, and it's one that competitors are going to have a really, really hard time crossing.
And here's why that moat is so deep. For our rival, let's say OpenAI, to compete, they'd have to convince a company to do a massive, high-risk, frankly terrifying data migration of their entire email and document history. But Google, they already have all that data sitting on their servers. All they have to do is ask you for permission to connect the dots.
And that right there, that's the whole ballgame. It creates this deep, defensible data moat. Suddenly, Google isn't just competing on who has the slightly better AI model. They're competing on data access. And for the millions of people and companies already using Workspace, this makes the platform incredibly, incredibly sticky. Why would you ever leave?
Okay. Giving one AI the keys to your entire digital kingdom, I know what you're thinking. This obviously brings up a huge, flashing neon sign of a question about privacy and control.
So let's just tackle the elephant in the room head-on. Is Google just reading all of your emails now? Is the AI constantly scanning everything you've ever written? Well, the short answer is no. And how they handle this is actually pretty clever.
The key is this new Sources menu. Think of it like your control panel. You grant permission on a per-query basis. This is super important. It is not a one-time, I agree, click it and forget it checkbox.
For every single task, you explicitly choose which sources to include. You tell it, okay, for this report, you can look at my Gmail and these specific folders in Drive. So it completely reframes the action from Google is reading my email to I am instructing my agent to read this email for this specific task.
However, there is still a pretty big risk here. And interestingly, it's not really the AI itself, it's the human-in-the-loop process. The human contractors required to build and maintain these systems. We've seen security incidents in the past where this becomes the weakest link. So while the tech might be secure, the human element is always the wild card.
So, let's step back for a second and look at the big picture. You put all of this together, what does it all mean? Well, I think it's safe to say we've officially entered a brand new era for AI. What we're looking at here is the first true personal data generalist agent. I mean, think about it. It's the first time any single product has combined a powerful reasoning engine, an autonomous web agent, and deep, secure access to your entire personal world of data. It's here. This is a truly transformative leap in what AI can do. It's like having a genuine chief of staff right in your pocket. But it also means concentrating an absolutely incredible amount of power and personal data into one single place. And that leaves us with one final, really big question to chew on. Is this the ultimate assistant, or is it the ultimate risk?